Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I will be discussing about Lambda Programming Model. So without any further ado, let's get started. So what is a programming model? The programming model defines the interface between your Lambda code and the Lambda system, the underlying Lambda execution environment and the underlying Lambda system. This programming model is common to all the runtimes that are available for Lambda. The main objects of the Lambda programming models are: each Lambda package must contain at least one file, which will be the entry point for execution. By default, this file will be named lambda_function for Python runtime, for example, but it is possible to customize the name of this file. Then this file, lambda_function file, must contain at least one method called lambda_handler by default in case of Python. This function name can also be customized. The lambda_handler function is the entry point within the lambda_function file. When the Lambda service receives an invocation, it runs the lambda_function.lambda_handler function. So it invokes this function lambda_handler in the file lambda_function. The lambda handler function has two arguments, event and context. Event contains the arguments provided by the requester of the lambda function, and context contains information about the lambda runtime such as function name, version, request ID, etc. I'll show you all these things in a practical demo later on in this video. Similarly, this we saw in terms of Python. Similarly, for other runtimes, there will be an entry point function with a default file name and a default handler function. For example, in case of Node.js, the default file name is index.js and the function name is handler, but the concepts will be the same. Then there is a /tmp directory in our Lambda environment. The Lambda function also has access to local storage in the /tmp directory. The directory content remains when the execution environment is frozen, providing an ephemeral storage. By default, Lambda allocates 512 MB for a function's /tmp directory. We can increase or decrease this amount using the ephemeral storage settings. To configure the size of a function's /tmp directory, we set a whole number value between 512 MB and 10240 MB in 1 MB increments. Now, Lambda response and errors. Lambda functions must always return a JSON serializable value. This is important. Returning a non-serializable response triggers a runtime error. So the Lambda function should always return a JSON serializable value. Now, logging output. The runtime captures logging output from the Lambda function and sends it to CloudWatch logs. So Lambda has integration with CloudWatch. It sends all the logs from the Lambda function to CloudWatch logs. In addition to logging the function's output, the runtime also logs the function invocation start and end entries, which includes a report log with the request ID, build duration, initialization duration, and other details. If the Lambda function code also generates debug or informational messages or any custom messages inside the Lambda code, those will also be logged in CloudWatch logs. Now let us learn what is stateless functions. So Lambda functions, we say that Lambda functions are stateless functions. So what is the meaning of this? Lambda environment is stateless, meaning that no data remains persisted after the underlying execution environment is terminated. In order to store data permanently between invocations, we need to use an external storage system like S3 or DynamoDB, etc. Although Lambda provides an initializer before the handler where you can initialize database connections, libraries, and other resources. Since execution environments are reused where possible to improve performance, you can reduce the time taken to initialize these resources over multiple invocations. However, you should not store any variables or data used in that function within the global scope, as the data will be lost if the execution environment is terminated. Let us see a demo in AWS console. Let us try to understand these concepts and see this in the AWS console. So I am here in my AWS console. Let us go to the Lambda service. Let us create a function, say demo1. Create the function. So as I said, in case of Python, the default entry point function name would be lambda_function.py, and the entry point function name is lambda_handler, and the arguments, as we can see, are event and context. So let us see what values we get in event and context. So let us print event and print context. Configure a test event and deploy test the function. So as we can see, in the event we get the values that the requester has passed. In this case, I pass the values from the configurations. And the context, in the context you can see there are a lot of things like log group name, CloudWatch log group name, log stream name, function name, memory limit, function version, function ARN. So all context contains all the things related to the Lambda function. Now as we said, all the logs of this function would be logged in the CloudWatch logs. So let us see in monitoring, view CloudWatch logs. So in CloudWatch logs we can see whatever the debug logs we have added in our function, those logs are also printed in the stored in the CloudWatch log Lambda context, and it also stores, as I said, the invocation information like the duration of the function, build duration, memory size, maximum memory used, init duration. So all the things are logged in the CloudWatch logs. And one more important thing that I discussed was the Lambda function should always return a JSON serializable value. Like here we have returned a JSON serializable value. Suppose we comment this and try to return some non-serializable value. For example, return int. So deploy these changes and test. So we get this error, unable to marshal response, object of type is not JSON serializable. So In this way we see that the return value should always be JSON serializable type. Now another thing is /tmp directory, how we can change the settings, memory allocation of /tmp directory. So we need to go to configurations, general configuration. Here you can see ephemeral storage. You can configure up to 10 GB of ephemeral storage /tmp for your function, and by default it is 512 MB. You can set the ephemeral storage to between 512 and 10240 MB. So this was all about the Lambda programming model in this video. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share, comment any feedback you want to give, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already subscribed. Thank you.